Now, just like the average African, this sport has a lot of names. Athletics, track and field, but in Africa, we just call it running. But honestly speaking, fam, I've always hated this sport. Nah, ever since my first girlfriend left me for a faster runner as a child, whenever I see runners, I go,
"You fat, stinking, and you ugly."
Okay.
"You fat, you stink, and you ugly."
The moment Shorty saw him sprint, she dropped me faster than Adidas did Kanye. And that's when I learned that with most shorties,
There is no passion, there is no vision.
Whoa, I said most. I know there's some loyal cuties out there, chill. But in high school, I always thought runners were weird, G. What do you mean you wake up at 4 a.m., do a 30-kilometer run on a dirt road at high altitude barefoot every single day just to maybe have a chance at winning a medal? Bruv, that's just like watching anime and dub. It's ridiculous. Throughout my life, I've only been obsessed with 3 things: anime, football, and women's feet. So I've played every position and met every type of player there is. Low-key, let me know in the comments if y'all want to see a types of footballers vid, cause I've got you feel me? But I'm here today to talk about coaches. See, our high school coach was more cruel than a pissed off Gordon Ramsay. Mans was evil. Every morning we do some of the most excruciating workout drills known to man. But it taught me some very real life lessons. When your team is down 4-0, you can't just give up and let them keep scoring. I remember this one game where our ops was scoring so much that coach literally shouted my name and told me to go foul their best guy. And sure enough, I go,
"That's all you had to say."
You either pull a Rooney and send their striker to the hospital, or you change up the play, but you never just quit. Something I've been finding really hard to do these past 3 months since I found out that my mom's really sick. I won't lie, guys, my mental's not been too good. I can't sleep. I can barely eat. I'm scared, guys. I'm really scared. But I'm gonna leave it to God and keep playing the game, no matter how hard it gets. Before we start, please remember to like, subscribe, and share the vid with your homies, fam. Now, whether or not you become a basketball or football player in Africa really depends on one thing and one thing only: the first sport you were exposed to. Same thing with whether you like bunda or boobies, fam. If your first girlfriend had mad bunda, you're gonna be an ass man, while if she had fat milkers, you're gonna go,
I want milk.
Well, research, which one are you, milkers or bunda?
Guys, you've got me all wrong. I actually don't like girls for their physique. I value loyalty and personality, okay?
Boy,
But ignore all that, fam. Whether or not you hoop in high school really depends on 2 things: are you tall and are you rich? Nah, you've got to be rich to be a hooper here. That's why all the hoopers here always have the same look: crazy good hair. They're probably light skinned. They wear chains and listen to hella hip hop or UK drill. But in my second year of high school, my desk mate convinced me to switch from football to basketball for a few weeks because of my injury. And I was like,
That's a great idea.
but that's when I met the most demonic, devious, disrespectful basketball player I know, Owen. See, Owen was a proper posh boy, like so posh that for the first 10 years of his life, man thought milk comes from the fridge, not cows. That level of posh. So it made no sense for his ass to be in our public all-boys high school, because not only was Owen 6'2", not only did he have the latest J's, but he was, look, he was attractive, fam.
What did he say?
Hey, yo, what the?
Bro, I'm not being sus. I hated the guy, but even I have to admit the truth. This man looked so good, he was raising up both genders. Bro looked like a mixture of LaMelo Ball and Goju Satoru, fam. Owen was so good that every time we'd play, it was like the ball was magnetically attached to his hand. Nah, every time I'd guard him, I was like... Bro would get so many buckets you thought this was KFC. I'm sure at this point you must be thinking,
Y'all are trash.
but that's not it, G. We were at a disadvantage because not only was Owen 5 inches taller than us, he also had the best shoes, fam. This man had fresh Jordan 11s while we played in pure leather toughies. So obviously I was jealous. Now, did I steal a few of his J's?
Yeah, baby.
Research, I thought you were a good guy. How could you do something like that?
Why?
I thrive off negativity. Anything negative, I'm for it.
But I thank the Lord that 2 months later, Owen realized that he couldn't handle the public high school life and transferred to another school. Nah, when I got the news, immediately I go,
Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
to the rest of the world, gambling is a fun activity. But in African high schools, it's an extreme sport, G. Nah. I've seen man them lose money, clothes, even teeth over a bet, fam. Cause when you throw together 3,000 sweaty, testosterone-filled boys into one boarding school, you're bound to get one thing and one thing only: violence. But when it comes to making bets, call me this cat, cause I've always been lucky, especially when it comes to football and boxing. Maybe I've got the Mangekyo Sharingan, but I can mostly look at a game and tell who's gonna win. But I've also seen what this lifestyle does to people. So it's time I tell y'all about my high school dorm mate, Wesley. See, Wesley was what we'd call,
You are a failure. You are a failure. You can never make it.
bro really took never give up to the worst extreme, G. Man was tapped. I remember at the beginning of the term, he'd pull up with an original Casio F91W, and in 1 week, he'd already lost it in a bet. His slippers, bro lost those too. Man's had to shower in official shoes, fam. Nah, it got to the point where he was so desperate that bro stopped betting on football games and started betting on random stuff. Talking about, bro, I've got 250 that our math teacher's gonna be wearing a blue shirt today, fam.
Stop it. Get some help.
And he was always on the lookout for a chance to put his money on something. We'd just be bored as hell in the dorm watching two rats fight when randomly we'd hear,
Let's fucking bet on this.
But I knew Wesley was cooked when it got to the point where people were always asking for him at the dorm. Whether it was seniors, teachers, even the watchmen, fam. Until finally on the last month of the term, bro's finances finally hit the negative. Mans wasn't even an adult and he'd filed for bankruptcy. So let this be a cautionary tale, even I left the game. Last time I put money on a game, the queen was still alive, cause nowadays betting companies changed sports. Everywhere you look, all you see is Betway, DraftKings, 1xBet. Sports became less about skill, competition, and the love of the game and more about money. The thrill used to be in the game itself, you know, the rivalries, the tactics, the heartbreak of losing to a team you swore was trash. Now it feels like the very soul of the sport is just a commodity to be sold, you know? But best believe if they ever hit me up for a sponsorship, I'ma be like,
Yes.